I just want to come out there and say that Netflix, you need a show for cancer patients and cancer survivors.
1,000%.
That would be so freaking entertaining. I mean, they have Love is Blind. They have Dating on the Spectrum. Like, why not have a dating show for people who are diagnosed with cancer or people, who have beat cancer and now they're living life with, cancer free, but in the real world. Like, what do we think?
I completely agree because dating during cancer, even though like for some sick reason, like I thrived during, like I have never been hit on more in my life than I have when I was going through chemo. Like it's very messed up. Life after cancer though, it's like, it's messy. So definitely need some type of show.
Do you think that you were more confident during chemo?
I think I was at the point where I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna die. So like I'm just gonna shoot my shot with everyone. Like doesn't matter if you're a doctor, you work at the hospital, especially if you're a doctor, I'm definitely gonna shoot my shot with you.
Oh my god. So you just shot your shot with everybody.
Of course.
What's like one like story you have to tell?
Okay, so if you read my book or my blog, you've already heard this story, but basically I fell in like love or pre-love or whatever it's called with my doctor's resident in the ICU.
Oh my God.
In the ICU, literally, like as my hair extensions were being ripped out with a fork, and I was vomiting, and I was high on all these medications and doing my chemo, and I reached out to him on LinkedIn.
Not the LinkedIn.
Yeah, I found him on LinkedIn because I was asking the nurses, I'm like, hey, what's his name? Like, I need to find him. Can I have his cell phone number? And they wouldn't give me a cell phone number, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna message him on LinkedIn.
What about social media? Facebook, MySpace?
Doctors don't have, like, I don't know. MySpace, first of all, MySpace, that's not a thing anymore, is it?
I don't know.
It might be.
All my doctors have my social media.
Yeah, well, this was like 8 years ago. I feel like no one really had Instagram, but so I found him on LinkedIn. Should we pull up what I wrote him?
Yes.
Hold on, let me get my phone.
So while we're waiting, Jess is a stage 4 lymphoma survivor. I met her here in Miami through mutual friends. So she is about 8 years out. She was diagnosed at 28 years old, I think 28, 29 years old.
28 years old, yes.
28 years old. And now she's thriving. I mean, look at her. She is a mamacita.
All right, we're going to pull up my LinkedIn real quick.
All right, let's pull up your LinkedIn.
I wonder if I still have it. It was like 8 years ago, but it's so funny.
What did you say in the message? Like, yo, doc, I'm about to die. What's good? Like,
I think I was like very delusional in the fact that I was dying. What's his name?
So you felt you were more confident because you're like, fuck it, I'm dying. Because your doctors originally told you had a life sentence.
Did
they
he
told
erase
you
me from LinkedIn?
Your doctors told you were dying. So basically you didn't give a fuck. You're like, all right.
Oh my God, I found it.
Oh my God, what does it say? What does it say? Go.
The first one, the audacity of me to even like reach out to this person, February 10th, 2000, let's just say, I'm going to...
So this is, okay. This is your doctor's...
This was my doctor's resident.
So you were in ICU when you were diagnosed with cancer.
He was the one who administered the chemo to me.
Okay, so he administered your chemo. So you slid into his LinkedIn. Okay, what is it?
I can't say his name because he would hate this. Assistant Professor of Medicine at Weill Cornell Medicine. That's Sloan, right?
I don't know.
Anyways. Thanks for taking good care of me. Hope you can visit my floor soon. Smiley face. 10:47 a.m. February 10th, 2016. He goes, I'm glad you're doing better. I'll try to stop by this week after a night shift to check up on all of you. Take care. February 13th, 2016, 8:06 p.m. Discharge. Since you're no longer my doctor, here's my number, blah, 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 blah. Or my Instagram is Justicris. Maybe even at 6 months, we can grab some margaritas. Hope to hear from you soon. He texted me out.
Oh,
he texted me.
My God.
That's a wrap. Like, I had it. Like,
you are a G.
I know.
Like, you are a G. Okay.
Crazy.
Okay, bitch, I see you. Okay, so
I'm going to drop the mic with this one.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. So, yes, of course I met up with him. He actually ended up being my neighbor. He lived in Brickell.
Oh, my God.
He was the sweetest soul I've ever met in my life. I'm still in love with him to this day. But I'm, like, way too unhinged for him, so I think he's just, like, this girl's crazy. So.
Did you guys go on a date?
I mean, I couldn't really date, but, like, he would come over my house and, like, watch TV with me and walk my dog with me. And talk to me every single day.
Is that what they called Netflix and chill back then?
Yeah.
So did that happen?
Yeah, but like you can't really do much because I was neutropenic, so
Oh,
I couldn't do anything. Like I couldn't even kiss him.
okay. So
So
it was not like a Netflix and chill. It was more of like get to know you.
yeah, I think so. I was like secretly in love with him, and I don't know if he thought that I was his friend. I would like make excuses, like I'd like smash my toe against the wall and like start bleeding, and I'd be like, "Hey, I'm bleeding! Like, please help me!" And he'd like run over and help me. It was crazy.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So how did it end? Like, how did you guys get out of touch?
So we talked like throughout my. He literally like saved me throughout my treatment. Like we talked every single day, whatever. I dedicated my book to him too, which is
Aww.
I don't know. I don't know if he got like weirded out by like the whole like I was a cancer patient thing and like we didn't know really like what was gonna happen. So it kind of just like fizzled out. And
Did he
that was
see you
it.
bald?
Of course. Of course he saw me bald. He was
So
the
you
one who
didn't-
told me, he's like, "You're gonna lose your hair." I'm like, "No, I'm not." He's like, "You should shave it." I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna lose it though." And he lost it all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Any other men in particular when you were going through treatment?
I had a roster of men. Obviously, like I didn't hook up with any of them, obviously, but like I had all the doctors like coming to my apartment and like helping me and chilling with me.
Oh my
walking
god!
my dog. Like I've never
Jess.
been hit on more in my life than I was at that moment.
So
It's very
during
weird.
chemo, you got hit on by all these doctors,
All the
these
doctors,
interns,
literally
everything.
all of the residents hit on me, and my mom to the point where like she got pissed at one point. She's like, "This is just ridiculous. Like, enough."
You're a fucking legend.
I really am.
You were a legend. Damn, bitch. Okay.
Yeah.
So your treatment, even though you were literally dying because they gave you a death sentence and said you were gonna die,
Yeah.
you made the best of it.
Yeah. I wore my makeup to chemo to CTU. I would wear like heels and wedges.
Oh
like
my
I looked
God.
cute. It was funny. My
And-
nurses would call me the Barbie. That's how I
Really?
got my blog name, Lymphoma Barbie. They're like, "You look like a Barbie."
Lymphoma Barbie. You're
Yeah.
the hottest cancer patient ever.
I mean, I tried to be. Just because it's like, what are you gonna
Yeah.
do? You know, what am I gonna do? Like sit in my room and cry all day? Like no.
Of course not.
So
Okay. All right. So you experienced that now for a Netflix show. What do you think Netflix can do to help cancer survivors or cancer patients on a show?
I mean, just like not match make them, but like we have like this, what's it called, AYA,
Yeah.
the AYA group. There's so many people our age like with cancer survivors, and obviously after cancer it's very rough. Like dating is so difficult. Like I don't even know how to go about explaining it.
Yeah, I think it's difficult,
hard.
especially from like where we live. Like we live in a city where everyone's gorgeous. The girls are gorgeous, the guys are
Yeah.
gorgeous. So like when you're bald, looking like a potato head, like it's like, damn, like I can't walk the streets like this. So like I always wore wigs. I always had fake lashes on.
I did too. I was the
Yeah.
same way.
Because that's what I'm saying. Like people had no idea. Like I'd be at a club, like literally twerking at like
Yeah.
4 a.m. And I'm like, all right, well, I gotta go to chemo in the morning, and everyone's looking at me.
Yeah.
I gotta get home early. It's like 5 a.m.
But
I'm
I
rolling
think
up.
like it's not just like, yeah, we live in Miami, which is a tough city, but I think everywhere it's like based on like what I've heard from other people, it's like it's just hard because the treatment changes you as a person, right?
Yeah.
Like you're not the same person that you were before cancer.
Yeah, you don't take bullshit.
And a lot of people can't, like I can't personally, like I finished treatment in 2016. I swear like I dated like after, but I wasn't really confident with myself until like 5 years post chemo. Like that's like when I was like I felt like normal again. I don't know.
You know how like people have glow ups? Do you feel like you had a chemo up?
Fuck
Like,
yeah. had a
I
chemo-
think
yes.
so too.
I feel like everyone does.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, I feel like I look better than before
Yes.
chemo.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I look so fucking bad, like during chemo, that like anything makes me look better. I mean, my wigs are also bomb too. So
One of my friends, like a few weeks ago, she was like, "Do you think that chemo had something to do with your aging? Because like you look younger. Like I look younger now than I did at 26. Like it's
Yeah.
weird.
I don't know, because I've seen some ladies that
And
went
you
through
too.
chemo and they look really old. So
I don't know. It's
I-
just we're
yeah,
we're
I don't know.
lucky.
I have no idea. No idea. But yeah, what I think that for me, I think that it's hard because when I feel like when a man looks at a girl who had, or anyone in general who has cancer, like that scares them. Like
Yeah, for
they
sure.
might think, oh, well, if they have cancer, if we have kids, they're gonna
Yeah.
get cancer. No,
Yeah.
no, we don't have genetic mutations. It's not through our family. Our cancer came from the environment. I did all the genetic testing. I tested, there was like 96 genes. I tested negative for everything. I have no mutations in my family line. So if you are to marry me and have kids, doesn't mean that my kids are going to have cancer.
Right.
My cancer specifically came from, you know, whatever happened in the environment. What I ate, what I drank, medication, you know, whatever. Plastic, whatever people say.
You have no idea.
I think that's what scares a lot of people. Because I would have been naive too. Back in the past, if I met a guy who just beat cancer, the first thing I think of is, if I have kids with this guy, my whole family's going to have cancer.
Yeah.
But that's not the case at all, actually.
And you were very, like, public with your journey. Like, I was the same way. Like, I documented everything. And, like, even if, like, I'm on Hinge, if someone Googles my name, it's, like, what comes up on Google is scary. It's, like, stage 4, Hodgkin's lymphoma, blogger, like, almost died. And then they meet me and they're like, whoa, like, are you okay? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about having your journey on social media. Like, everybody's gonna
everyone
know,
knows. Everyone
you're not
knows.
hiding it. And that's the thing, like, a man will love you for who you are. You know, your hair will grow back. You know, there's gonna be a time where you like right now.
Yeah.
Look at you. You're 8 years
I
out.
have some extensions.
Yeah, you have some extensions, but you're 8 years out. A man would never approach you and be like, "That bitch had cancer 8 years ago." Like, for me, a little different. I have a wig on, so you can kind of see it a little bit, but I hide it as best as I can. But I
wore a wig as well, like, for a long time.
Yeah. Well, mine's permanently on my head. I can't take mine off.
Well, that's good because it's windy. Like, mine would blow off.
Yeah. But I think that's what it is. It's people are naive, and I was someone that was naive in the past.
Yeah.
I would have thought the same thing, but people need to understand that. Sure, there's some families where, like, everybody has. I have friends who everyone has cancer, so they are literally bound to get cancer.
Yeah.
Nobody in my family has cancer, so it's not like it runs in my family. So I think that's one thing that people would be scared of. But yeah, I mean,
or they just, like, associate you with dying. Like, I got so many, like, fucked up messages from people, like, guys that I knew, like, in the past, are like, "Hey, are you okay? Like, are you gonna die?" And I'm like, who asks someone that, first of all?
Yeah, I mean, you don't know. Like, that's the thing. Like,
you can die by just walking across the street.
Yeah. Well, I think that if Netflix was to do a show about, you know, cancer patients and cancer survivors, we all can relate to each other because we've gone through it. So, who is it? Oh, don't answer it. I'm more important. I think if we do a Netflix show with cancer patients and survivors, I feel like we are at a deeper level as cancer patients, females, males. You know, most of us have gone through chemo, and I think that we would appreciate and respect each other a little bit more. So I think a dating show on Netflix would be amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
Amazing.
100%. I agree.
Like, because we've all already been through the life sentence, you know, thinking about death and all that. We're such strong people that I feel like if we were linked together with someone just as strong, that would be like sparks.
Jesse Solomon from
what's
that called? Summer House. Jesse, if you're watching, do you want a podcast with us?
Let's go.
I think he lives in Miami too.
He does, yeah. But yeah, and there's very attractive female and males.
Yeah, he's hot as fuck. Are you kidding me? He's hot.
All my cancer friends in Miami,
all my cancer friends are hot.
Yeah, all my cancer friends are hot. I don't have any ugly cancer friends. Every age. I have from 19 years old up until 80 years old.
Yeah.
Everyone's hot. So Netflix, we're going to tag you, but we want a show. We want a show where we can date other cancer patients.
Jesse Solomon, we're also going to tag you.
I think that would be the best thing ever.
Yeah,
that'd be so much fun.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Netflix, where you at?
Okay.
So, I think we're done.
We're done. Yeah. We have to tag